everybody. Got to do a few things. As you know, I always have to do my live video first start, so bear with me. Give me a few seconds as I get a few things in place. I have missed you all. Hadn't been able to talk to you much, but I have been doing my best to cover these Carolina Panthers. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I think it's going to be a fun show. As soon as I can get all of my link stuff together. But definitely want to make this an interactive conversation. I always say that with everybody. Excuse me very much. You know, my mantra is I work for you guys, so I need those questions. And again, live videos always take me just a second to get started, so give me just one more minute and we will be going here. But I want your questions, so I hadn't looked at the chat window yet. Please go ahead and, what is going on with my computer? Please go ahead and start sending those questions because I really, really want to hear from you guys. Uh-oh. Let's just go ahead and get started. It's 10 o'clock at night Eastern time. We don't want to be up too late, right? So good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vi, credential media member covering the Carolina Panthers. And I like to say, Cody, thanks for giving me the title, Man of the People. So what I mean by that title, if there's anything that you want to know about the Carolina Panthers, let me know. I go into that locker room. I will get those questions answered for you, going directly to the player or coach that you would like for me to talk to. So, hey, Cody, thanks for giving me that title. So right now, I'm still trying to get to my screen, which lets me see the chat. Let's see what's going on here with the chat. All right. Love it when you have problems with live video. Where is my chat? Let's see, why is my chat not working? I may have to pause this and restart it because I feel like the chat's not working and the chat should be working. Unable to connect the chat. Please try again later. All right. Can you guys chat with me right now? I don't feel like I got something that's saying the chat isn't working. But I want you guys to let me know if the chat is working. If not, then I guess I'm just gonna have to end this stream and restart another one, which I absolutely hate to do, but I came on here to talk to you all, and I can't do that if I can't chat. All right, so, all right, Bud Hudness says, yo, he's here. Can you type one more message for me, Bud? Oh, it is working. All right, so I was about to log off because on my screen it was telling me that the chat was not working, so I was not liking that because that would totally defeat the purpose of this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it because you said the chat is working. And there we go. All right, so man, thank you, Bud, for letting me know. I had to just refresh my screen and now I can in fact see that the chat is working. So let's go ahead and get into it. I appreciate, sorry about that, 3 or 4 minute delay there, but wanted to get online and talk to you guys about the Carolina Panthers. And the biggest thing that I've been seeing on social media is so much talk about Cam Newton and his injury and how bad he is and his fashion and all this stuff. So I really just wanted to have a really unscripted conversation with you all about Cam Newton and everything that's going on with this team, just to see what you all are really thinking. So the big news from today, Carolina Panthers, they play the Cardinals on Sunday. It's a West Coast game, so they actually leave on Friday. So their practice schedule kind of gets abbreviated this week because they're going to be leaving early to go down to Arizona. And Cam Newton, today is normally an off day for the Panthers, but they had practice, and Cam Newton was not at all in that practice today. And he was held back because he had reported to the team that his ankle, his foot, something in there wasn't working, wasn't fine. So then that opens up a can of worms about his performance on Sunday. But before I get into that, there's timetable for his return. They don't know if he's going to be practicing tomorrow. Rivera said he's day to day, and they are preparing that if he is going to be out, that Kyle Allen will go in for quarterback, and if Cam is maybe going to be out for a long term, there's no projection to have any other veteran quarterbacks come in to play on the team. So that's the latest news from today. We also had some other people that didn't practice today. I know Rashawn Golden was one of those guys who did not participate in practice today. And let's go ahead and get into some of my thoughts about everything that I've been hearing. But again, please, as you all have some thoughts about this situation, leave them in the comments. Let's have some engaging conversation. Let's first go back to a lot of stuff that I've been seeing. One is people talking about this guy's dress and how it pertains to his performance on the field. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Cam, if you have followed him, put in a ton of work from having guys go to the beach to work out, having guys go up to Under Armour facility and work out in the off season. This guy had his basically no sex for a month routine, trying to hone in, get focused, and all this stuff. So I think it's just reaching when you go to pin his performance on his outfits that he wears to a game or from a game, and think that it takes him more time to put into that than it does his preparation. You're certainly allowed to and are welcome to not like his dress. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I know I wouldn't wear much of anything that Cam Newton puts on. But when it's time to go out on the football field, he dresses like a football player. He has on regular gear, and they go and they focus on what's between the lines. And to me, it's just crazy to think that his dress, which, let's not forget, this guy has millions and millions and millions of dollars. So it's not that hard for him to have people come to his house, pick out his clothes, make whatever he wants to wear, and come to a game. So that's my 2 cents on the Cam Newton and his dress and affecting his play. I think that's a little bit crazy. Another thing I wanted to get into. So let's talk about if Cam is not able to go this weekend, which I feel it's a fairly good chance that he will not be a go. I feel like it's a 50-50 because you look at the fact that we're coming off a Thursday night game, which gives you quite a bit of a break between the games week to week. So you would think if there was some possibility of Cam coming back, that the long delay, playing on a Thursday night, getting 3 extra days, today just now being Tuesday, that he would have been out there practicing and going through some things, and he didn't. You know, at this point, I don't want Cam to play this Sunday. And again, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. But if he in my opinion, some of the things that was going on was his timing and just being off and not having that connection with the guys to make some of those passes once he started going deeper down the field, and needing to have some practice, needing to have what I felt like was more time in the preseason. Not necessarily saying play 20 plays in a preseason, but play 8 plays. Play 2 series and just get in there. But if timing was the issue, and part of the reason, I know his arm could be crazy, but if that was part of the reason that he's off, then why put him back out there this Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals? Because now he's missed more time. He's still not getting the chemistry. He's still not getting the reps with these guys to get in sync as he needs to be. And go ahead and give Kyle Allen a chance to go in there and throw the rock. So that's how I feel. I know. Let me get into the title of this video. And also, all right, we got some comments. I appreciate the comments. Altimore, he showed his Taylor on his YouTube channel. Oh, he showed his Taylor. Yeah, he did. Cam put out a video today about his feelings after the loss. And one of the things that I think we have to accept, that sometimes is hard to accept, is that these guys are not going to be 1,000% honest about things. Coach Rivera was asked about Cam's foot after the Thursday night loss to Tampa Bay, and it was like nothing's wrong with his foot. His body's fine. Ron Rivera actually ended that press conference on Sunday pretty short, and I can tell you, being 20 feet away from that guy, Ron Rivera, doing his press conference, I would say he was pretty pissed off, pretty frustrated with something, a demeanor that you don't see too often from him. But in Cam's video that he put out today on his YouTube channel, he did talk about his frustrations from that loss, and he also talked about how his body felt. The only thing he said was his arm was a little sore. He didn't say anything at all about his foot or his ankle. And so I think that's just where you got to get into it is a competition. They try to hide some information, have some kind of competitive advantage, and he didn't mention anything in his video about the foot. And I'm not sure we're going to get availability to talk with Cam this week. Again, the schedule things kind of got off. I think actually we could get a chance to talk with him tomorrow. And that's a question that I would go to ask him. It's like, hey, Cam, your video that you put out yesterday, you said your arm was sore. You didn't say anything about your foot. Yet you had a talk with Coach Ron Rivera after the game, and you mentioned the foot. Why are you not talking about the foot? And again, I think it's some mental stuff. But nevertheless, I'll continue to go. I want to Kelly. Oh yeah, Kelly. He did say if you look if you look good, you play. Yeah, I'm so glad, Kelly, that you left that comment, because let's face it, man. Regardless of what it looks like to us, and to me, I'm telling you, it looks crazy. But regardless of what it looks like to us, you cannot tell me, man or woman, if you got your hair done, got your nails done, I'm talking on the women part here, and you got your suit, you got whatever outfit on that you feel good about, that carries on to, help you with whatever you're about to do, right? It helps you with your swagger, helps you with your walk, if you look good, you play good, they pay good, you get paid. So, hey, even me on Sundays, right? This is what I wear right now. This is button-up polo shirt. I go into the practices during the week, in the locker room during the week. I got on a t-shirt and shorts and some sneakers or some cargo shorts. But come Sunday, I'm getting my suit laid out. I'm getting my socks. I'm getting my tie. I'm getting my pocket square. I'm getting all this stuff because it's game day. You go to feel good so that you perform good. So it just, in my opinion, that's just impossible. It's ludicrous, actually, to think that his dress has an effect on his play and that he puts too much time into. The guy has to get dressed anyway. It's not like, I know people make comparisons to other quarterbacks. Tom Brady does have fun. He makes videos doing other things more than just sitting there in front of a computer. Anyway, moving on. Allison thinks that he's still hurt. And Alton, I think that Cam is still hurt as well. However, I feel like the bigger issues, I feel like there's something going on up here with Cam as well. I don't at all think that he's not hurt, but I feel like, and I want to try to talk to some guys in the locker room this week about, we all go to think about the physical part. Obviously, when you get hurt, how well does that limb function for you to do what it is that you're doing? But I think there's also a mental part that we don't think about too often, and that could be going on with Cam, that is contributing more than in the past to his performance. Because one thing that you see with Cam, this guy's a tank. This guy obviously has a huge threshold for pain with a lot of the stuff that he goes through, and still can get out there. But that also is coming from here, and how you deal with it and how your mechanics go through it. And like I said, I'm going to try to get in the locker room this week and see if I can get some other guys' perspective on coming back from injuries in the middle part of it. Is it Jorge? I can't say your name correctly, but it says sign Kaepernick. That's a better option than backups we got now. Plus, he's mobile, so you don't got to change the playbook. I don't know about signing Colin Kaepernick. It does seem on the surface decent. He's certainly been out the league several years, so I don't know how many games does it take Colin Kaepernick to get in game shape and game ready, game responsive, game IQ. I don't know how long that takes for him to do that. And then even once he does get into that shape, mental and physical, and the pace of the NFL, what is his play going to be like? Now, certainly I know he's published videos about being out there practicing, and I'm not saying the guy's about to, you heard stories before about guys could be bagging groceries and come in and play. So I don't think that he's out of shape, but it's still it takes a moment to get into there. So we'll see. Bud, do you think Ron just playing Cam to keep his coaching job? How you feel about us not using depth at running back? So good questions. I think the biggest thing with Ron and Cam is the fact that how much do you know that Cam is hurting? How much is Cam telling you that he's hurting? Because if Cam is telling you that he's okay, and you're looking at him and you're not seeing any, physical limp, this or that, I mean, you might not see him performing well, but you don't physically see much. There's a tremendous drop-off when you go from Cam Newton to Kyle Allen and to Will Grier. It's a tremendous drop-off. And I think as a coach, you're not eager to make that drop-off. It's a lot of times where you have a starting quarterback that can play hurt a whole lot better than your backups and give you a chance to win. Now, I think one of the bigger questions comes into the game planning with Cam, because his rushing these first two games have been absolutely pathetic. Very pathetic. He has negative rushing yards on the year. I think I was going to find this stat here. So in that first game against the Rams, he had 2 carries for 0 yards. 2-0. Against the Los Angeles Rams, he had 3 carries for -2 yards. And that's really why I want to focus on the mental part, right? Because as big as Cam is, I don't know his exact numbers. I'm not a stat geek. I think, let's say 6'4", 250. I just know the dude is huge. How in the world does Cam Newton, through 2 games on 5 carries, have -2 yards rushing? As big as he is, you almost feel like he could fall over some people. So, I'm sorry, I got distracted looking at the comments, but please keep those comments coming. Please keep those comments coming. So it's like, running scared, right? Because to me, I could just never, I mean, seriously, guys, everybody that's watching this video, right? Think about that. How could 6'4", 250-pound Cam Newton rush 5 times and have -2 yards? if you ever watch football, I won't say if you ever watch football a lot, but you know, it's a term called running scared, and being a that's is that a part of it? And if so, that's to me that's mental because this guy's big enough where he could just run straight into people and should be able to get 1 yard. Heck, he's how many times do we see the Superman where he's diving over people to get a few yards? Why are you not diving? I think it's mental. I think he's still not physically 100%, but I think a lot of it's mental because you don't even see him trying to do that kind of stuff that he used to do, which could also be going into this whole throwing thing. If your head's all over the place, now you're throwing all over the place. All right, I'm gonna get off that tangent and go back to making sure I answer some of the questions. Why are the other running backs that we have depth and that are active not getting any game time? Easy. Christian McCaffrey is just the greatest, and we haven't been winning yet, so I don't think there's any eagerness to pull Christian out and let any of the other running backs get a rep just for getting a rep. I think even when you have Christian out there, you're able to get the defense that just has to respect some things differently than when you bring the other guys out there. And I do have another comment about that part, but I'm going to come back to it in a second. Swagger is key. He just has to at least stop wearing those scarves. Yeah, those scarves are, again, my opinion about if you wanted me to rate Cam's outfit, those scarves are terrible. Terrible. He's definitely hurt by that left tackle. Got to get replaced. Yeah, Darrell Williams, man, did not have a good game at all. Had Cam getting hit quite a few times. I think wasn't this the game where 3 plays in a row he got hit? That's not good. That's not good. And I don't know if I want to right now say that Darrell needs to be replaced. I think Darrell just had a bad game. He's been pretty solid for us, so I'm not willing to put him there yet. But definitely that play from the left tackle the last game was obviously bad and needs to improve. B. Evans, what's going on, man? I always appreciate you tuning in. 1D, I don't know if that means something. I would like to say your name, but you just said foot. I'm not sure what your comment was right there. Is it Norv reason Cam not running? Yeah, so, it was funny in week 1 to hear Cam talking about Christian McCaffrey's on Norv Turner's fantasy football team, and that's why some things are happening as they are. That was only when we were 0-1. Now we're 0-2, lost to the lowly Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which you have to now say, are we now the lowly Carolina Panthers, at least at this moment? There is, I'm thinking deep here. Did you guys see that deep thought? I think there was one designed run for Cam. But let's just go to the last play of the game. Last play of the game, short yardage. Cam Newton, huge guy. You don't go to use him at all to run the ball. So what I think that says is I think Norv is trying to protect Cam by not having him run. Norv probably has seen that, Cam's ankle or foot has been okay, but he's not super confident with it. So I think he's been keeping him out of it. But I think that's something, again, that in the past, I don't know why I'm burping. I'm just drinking water, and I'm like burping. But nevertheless, in the past, it's been so hard to keep Cam from being what he loves to say, hey, I'm a football player. I just want to win. I want to catch the rock. I'll run the rock. I'll block. I'll do whatever I need to. I'm a football player. Like he says it all the time. And you would know that they have to pull him back at times of like, hey, don't go out there and do this, Cam. Hey, I wish you'd stay in the pocket a little bit more. And now suddenly you're telling me that Cam has just clicked and like, oh, okay. You said don't run. I'm not going to run. Nah, I think that Norv is trying to protect Cam, but I also feel like Cam just isn't raising his hands to say, I want to run, 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 run. Because he has, 5 carries, -2. Five carries. Anyway, let me continue to make sure I answer all the questions from you guys. Mike Schuler ran too much. How you feel about that? Hopefully, Bud, I just answered your question there talking about Cam running. I feel like Cam definitely has got something going on mentally for sure. He's not confident at all. I really, really, and I'm not saying like he's scared as in like he's just like, oh no, but I'm thinking it's like the mental, right? You got something that's hurting you. And you see it and you might initially want to run, but then as you start to, then the other thoughts come in. Then you start to feel your body. Then you start thinking about, that's honestly what I think it is that's contributing a lot to Cam. And even just his demeanor's changing. And the way that he talked after that the loss against Tampa. I don't know. I saw Cam limp last. He looking like Erykah Badu. Man, he looking like Erykah Badu. He looking like Whitney Houston, Mary he's looking like he's looking like QB1 as we all like to call him, right? He's looking interesting to me for sure. Everyone hit the thumbs up. Yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, please hit the thumbs up if you are still watching, or if you're watching a replay, hit the thumbs up. That helps people find out about me and shows some support for this YouTube channel, which I enjoy doing and creating for you guys. Again, just wanted to jump on here. Hadn't done one of these impromptu videos in several weeks, and felt like doing so because I really want to stay connected to you guys as fans. I got my title Man of the People from my man Cody at Cat Chronicles. I don't think that's the C3 podcast. And I do take a lot of pride in working for you all and getting questions answered. So tell a friend, leave a comment. I'm a little, but actually, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, I'm a lot behind on getting to you all's comments. So I've been thinking about doing a video just to catch up to date with everybody's comments, but I'm going to try to first get to them. And also, you know what? I'm still not sure the best time to do live videos to interact with everybody. So if you're watching the video, please take 1 second, everybody that's watching, let me know the best time that you like to see these live videos and will be the best time for you guys to interact. Well, and everything's Eastern time, so please tell me that. If you're not Eastern time, just tell me your time zone when you mention it. Anywhere from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time is what I wouldn't mind doing, but let me know in the comments, please. If you're watching, just take 2 seconds and leave that below. Let me get back to some of these questions here. Cam got to get right. He got everyone in the sunken place. Does it make it hard to be critical of players when you have to interview them later? It says, I can't say your name. It has definitely gotten easier to interview players when you know there's something negative and you got to be critical. So what I have been trying to do, because I'm a nice guy, maybe you can tell, maybe you can't, but I'm a nice guy. I try not to be a guy that ever goes in there and asks the obvious question like, I don't know, something bad that they're gonna bark at you. So what I try to do is also talk to guys outside of just, hey, how you got burnt, why, so that there could be some sincerity there that you're just trying to do your job and ask some of the questions that are hard, but you still think of them as a decent person. So that's how I've been handling it, and it has been something that's taken me quite a while to get used to. So I like questions like that, by the way, some off the path type questions. Can the Panthers coaches Cam put the coaches on his back for 8 seasons? He's broken now. Could it be a money issue for Cam Newton? Can you expand on the money issue question for Cam? Can't he see a sports psychologist to help him? Now, they do have definitely the guy has resources available to him. They have now a team sports psychologist to help them with things. But you know, even when you just period, even if you did seek help, it's not something that typically can just bam. You know, it's something that could take a minute to get around. So yes, he has that resource. It's not an immediate fix, and yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, everybody that's watching, if you could just do me a big favor, take 2 seconds and let me know the best time for you to ideally that you would like to see me do live videos to interact because you're available at that time. I've been doing a few late ones, but nevertheless, let me know. Let me know. I'm gonna run through some other things here to give everybody a chance to chime in if there's any questions. Cam was in the boot today. No big deal, considering that he didn't practice being hurt. What else we got? Just reading through a few things real quickly for everybody. I'm late to the conversation, so what we talking about? King, why you late to the conversation, man? I mean, I sent out an email. I set it up like 2 hours before I went live, but we're just taking some questions, having a little vent session, talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So that's what we're talking about right now. All right, appreciate everybody chiming in. Again, I'm not far from wrapping up here, but if those that are still watching, please take 2 seconds on your keyboard, on your phone. Let me know the best times for you to watch these live videos and engage. And if you're watching the replay, just leave a comment for me, please. Evans, mental ghosts are real. I've been hurt at work before, and you can't pay me to do what I was doing again. Yeah, so again, I'll talk about whatever you all want to talk about. But Cam has talked about being tired of being hurt and just being agitated with being hurt. And this is a guy that calls himself Superman, right? So Superman, he don't run around hurt. He ain't gimpy trying to make things happen. So yeah, I don't think he's having much fun right now just because he can't do what he wants to do. Got another vote for the time of 9 p.m. 9 p.m. seems to be dominating the suggested times. Going to share a miscellaneous story with y'all right now, as I love to do. Had an event today in which my man I want to say Torrey Holt. Torrey Smith was at our recent retired. Torrey Smith was in Charlotte today. It's this organization called, I believe, Year Up, which helps with kids or high schoolers with their career. He was at Central Piedmont Community College, so it was cool to see Torrey. He said it was the first time that he had been introduced as a former football player because he just recently retired last week. Also went on to say that he did have a few calls to get on teams once the Panthers released him, but he was pretty set on this being his last season, so he just went ahead and decided to go ahead and retire and spend time with the kids, spend time with the family. All right, Bud has a question. I don't want to ask this, but people telling me Cam may have CTE. Have you seen anything that goes with that? I hate to bring this up, but I just want to get it off my mind. So, I mean, something like CTE, I'm definitely say, hey, some sports reporters, even though they're not doctors, have a lot of information and knowledge about the medical field. I don't. I just feel like Cam, a CTE evaluation is well beyond me. But I would just go to say that, you know, mentally, I feel like he's not where he used to be, and that he's that could be it could be assisting with his poor performance right now. Hope he doesn't pull an Andrew Luck. Yeah. I don't see him pulling an Andrew Luck, but I still feel like he's not in the best place. trying to read your comment. Cam doesn't have a foot injury. I'm not sure if that was a typo. He does have a foot injury. He's not throwing the ball as well as he was last year, so it looks like his shoulder is still hurt too. Yeah, his shoulder is still, I don't know how hurt it is, but he said it's still sore. You know, his shoulder is still sore. So, so many thoughts came to mind. That's why you just saw me shake my head and not say anything. So last week in the press conference, I was the one who asked Cam, you know, and I say just to let you know the build up. So I'd asked him 3 questions about him throwing the ball and how does he feel and does he wish he could throw the ball deep. And then Bill Voss, the Panthers, asked him another question about his shoulder, and that's when Cam went to say, I can throw the ball deep, you know, tell Tampa to plan for me not to be able to throw deep and see what would happen. And he came out and he threw the ball deep this game. And I think that was part of the, you know, the ego, which he should have, of wanting to throw the ball deep. But what happened when he threw the ball deep? I mean, they were not good throws. I think one was good, and from there it just went downhill. So I think if you're dealing with some things psychologically about your body, I'm not saying the guy's crazy. I'm just saying these injuries that he has in his body not doing what he thinks that it should do and used to could do. You got to, I'm going to show these guys. I'm going to throw the ball deep. You throw the first one, okay, that was a little weird, but that was good. And then you go throw some more, and now they're going high. Now they're going wide. And you're kind of like, oh, crap. Oh, dang. Why can't I get this shoulder to work right? Because I know that I can, and you know, just goes downhill. I think CTE is headshot related. Now, I'm not going to say in terms of Cam with CTE, I mean, the guy has definitely had a lot of shots. So I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to fuel it. I'm not saying it's also ridiculous. But I think, again, that's something a little bit beyond my sports opinion to start talking in depth about this guy with CTE. Good comment here. I think it's mental. Not only he had a bad performance, he aggravated his foot. He lost the game. The fans have been beating him up. That's a lot to take. Yeah, someone had made a comment about Cam bashing fans on Twitter and was tweeting to me about some information on that. That is something that I would say, I don't know what the full question would it derive from in regards to Cam. Say anything negative about fans, but Cam makes a point pretty much weekly to talk about fans, especially if it's a home game, saying how important it is for the fans to be loud, how great it is to have it's like North Carolina and South Carolina. He supports the Roaring Riot, which is a huge fan club, because he knows how important it is. Just said, man, we got to win at home. I would say he takes home losses more than he takes a road loss, because he knows how important it is to win at home and how important, you know, you want to have home field advantage so that you can have that advantage in the playoffs, and they're not getting it. They're 0-2. We open, you know, Ron Rivera's talking about not having a season opener at home. We just had back-to-back games at home to open the season. We're 0-2, and now we're about to go on the road. And actually, we're about to be on the road a lot. I think I don't have the schedule right in front of me, so excuse me if I'm not 100%. At one point, we have 4 out of 5 games on the road, and that's over a 6-week period because we also have a bye. So our next 2 games are Arizona and Houston, road games. We come back for a home game against the Jaguars. Then we go to London. Then we have a week off. And then we're in San Francisco. So just from a travel and a home perspective, man, they've already played a quarter of their home games. Let me keep going to these comments. We have a bad fan base. I won't be mad if you play Andrew Luck. I disagree with the fan base. I mean, we have passionate people, and passionate people can be upset when they're losing. I don't think our fan base is any bad for that. Me to beat him about the loss of losing home, like losing a fight in front of your girlfriend. Pretty interesting stuff you all are saying there, but I appreciate it. So, hey, I'm about to wrap up. I'm going to give another minute for some new questions to come in. In the meanwhile, if you have not already done so, let me know a good time for these live videos to go. Please tell a friend about Charlotte Vibe and our YouTube coverage of the Carolina Panthers. I like to say I work for the fans and men of the people, because questions that you ask, I go to get answers for them and put them online. And I love doing it. We got some Kaepernick fans here. Yes, he's still available. We were considered road warriors at one point. Yeah, we were. You know, I'll close with this if I don't get any new questions. The one thing when the season started out, and I'm still hanging my hat on a little bit, is that this team, as strange, as crazy as it is, even with some awful records and losing streaks, we have a winning season and then we have a losing season. It happens that's like if I was a bettor and if there's a Vegas betting on just team having winning or losing season, I would be betting all day life-saving on the Carolina Panthers, because that's their pattern. So that would say that they're going to have somehow turn this thing around and get into a winning season. Well, something that I'm curious about is what David Tepper is feeling like right now. And, I'd love to ask Ron Rivera about it. I don't think I'll be able to get the full response that I'd like to get in terms of just knowing, but really wonder what Tepper's feeling and saying to Hurney and Rivera right now. 10 p.m. We need to sit Cam for a few weeks and let him heal. At the beginning, I said that I didn't want Cam to play this weekend because of that rhythm. I do say at this point, because I feel like, and I wish I could have said this at the beginning of the video, because now, everybody don't watch to the end, and you want them to watch it. What are we on, like 30-something minutes now? So if I could, I don't know, Mike put this in the comments, but here's my feeling. My opinion being that Cam is dealing with some mental issues from the physical part of the game, as far as being frustrated with his body not being able to do what he's used to doing. My feeling was already, let him go ahead and rest this week, because he didn't even practice today, and he's had extended time off. Help his mental out. He's going to be frustrated with not playing, but help his mental out and let him get back to not where Cam says that he's 100%, but where doctors and coaches really, really feel like he's more than good, more than ready to go, so that he can return to being the Cam that he feels like he can, but he physically hadn't been able to do. Give him a boost, help him out. It's my 2 cents. I don't know how long that would have him out. I'm sure, we can't forget this is a business, so teams want to win. But again, it just seems like Cam is not Cam. But Hall, appreciate the comments, man. I will continue to work for the fans. B. Evans, always appreciate you coming on. Sarah, appreciate you tuning in. Everybody else, Kings, YPX918, Ali, Broderick, everybody that tuned in and watched, appreciate you all. Signing off for now. We'll continue to bring you updates. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and as always, hit that like button, show me a little bit of support and love, and make sure that you have a good night. See ya.